This is a work industries one. I gotta do some laundry today. Hey, did you guys notice in your communities an issue that's getting worse? And it's not nepotism. I'm not sure if there's a name for what I'm going to describe, but did you notice that a lot of people with jobs, and they get into a situation to hire somebody, they'll hire somebody that already has a job that they know, that they often work with. So these people have multiple jobs and they're overworked, and they weren't that good before they had multiple jobs at what they do. But they get even worse when they're all sticking together and protecting each other's feelings and interests. And guess what's sad? Is often these are people that work with vulnerable sector. So, and if they were, caseworkers, like the Ministry of Poverty Creation got worse, you can ask the BC Ombudsperson's office for this, which has allowed this to happen over the last decade. Is the BC Ministry of Poverty Creation don't have workers that work, for a caseload, right, of individuals. And they're not good at writing notes. And so you're starting over every time with people that don't care, but even if they did, their notes are so bad, and they're so new to the people they open a file about every time that they just can't do a good job. Anyways, what I'm talking about are cultural crimes, right? Crimes against humanity, and if what I'm talking about, like right here, where the guy says, well, I don't know what your skills are, bring in a resume. To fold clothes, seriously? And then I tell him interesting stories, like that I taught a lesson about folding panties in Uganda, that I got free, a guest room in Japan and enjoyed folding clothes on the roof, that when I was 19, I was a maid, but I didn't have to wear the skirt, I could wear the pants, and back east in Quebec, these are things I could do 30 years ago, what this job requires. And then he says, well, there's kind of a conflict of interest, but there really isn't one. But if he was a caseworker, he would know that I'm well enough, I'm not a drug addict at the shelter, and that he could hire me and somebody without a job so that I can be less homeless. But again, they benefit to themselves, they don't do anything for the clients. They need the clients to remain vulnerable. That looks like a bullet. To actually feel better about themselves and keep their lifestyles of culture breakers intact. So that's pretty pathetic. You would think this should be investigated by the RCMP. Well, do you really think the RCMP or the court services don't have similar patterns of crimes against humanity within them? So of course you'd have to get extraterrestrials investigate this, but I don't know of any, do you? So yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous that I can't even be offered a part-time job to fold clothes. And he doesn't get the concept that if he gives me that job, I don't need to go get a sandwich at the shelter or a gas card once in a while there that I'm still waiting for. There's so many visits there to get a gas card, it'll cost me more in gas than the gas card I'll get. So they don't get this. And of course, they're getting away with it because it's a cultural pattern. I mean, the BC Ministry of Poverty Creation and all the MLAs and politicians in charge of those departments are they're facilitating this. So of course they can get away with it.